Welcome along to another Monday Night Live. Tonight is a really exciting show. We've got Georgia Hall, major champion, joining us live from Wentworth, and she'll be joining us to talk all things Olympics, major championship golf, and life on the LPGA Tour. It's been a fantastic weekend of golf, Senior Open, KJ Choi winning, and Jonathan Vegas winning on the LPGA, on the PGA Tour. Exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to see Carnoustie. Tough course, and look at the halfway cut and who missed it. Really exacting test. And KJ just didn't look like he was going to miss all week. Very impressive. And great to see Jonathan Vegas winning. And he just seems like one of the good guys out there. It looked like it meant so much to him to win as well. So yeah, really good to see that.
A big run in to FedEx Cup. The playoffs coming up soon. We've only got, yeah, I know. We've only got 2 tournaments left between now and the FedEx. Lots of golfers will be wanting to obviously get to those finals. It means so much now with so much cash up for grabs. Anyone that you think might kick on outside of Scheffler
and
Schauffele, yeah, that might have a good run in?
I mean, you've got to think Schauffele is going to be, I'd say, just continuing on. He's just on such a run, and he's such a stable player. He seems like once he gets confident, he just carries on and on. So, I mean, he's my pick. But outside that, Sam Burns coming back to play a bit better at the moment. He could be interesting. And then, yeah, we all want to know what Rory's going to do at the end of the season. So I'm just not going to come outside of one of the big names, I don't think.
No. Well, I've just seen that the lovely Georgia has joined us. A little intro. Georgia turned pro at 2014. She's won the Ladies European Tour Order of Merit, successfully defended, first lady to do so, and a major champion at Royal Lytham. Priming herself in the gym with Kate this morning. Didn't look like there was much going on. I joke. But lovely to join you. Lovely to have you with us, Georgia. Welcome along to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us, Georgia. Have you been out on the golf course all day preparing for the Olympics?
Yeah, I've done a bit of practice earlier, but going to play like 12, 15 holes now. It's like perfect weather, so hopefully it won't be too hot.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have summer finally, isn't it? Have you been out and played in Paris much? Have you been on the course?
No, not at all. I've heard lots about it. I heard it's really tough, so I'll be interested to see some of the men this coming week and how they find it. But I heard there's lots of water, so yeah, we'll see.
And is that actually something for the ladies being next week, next Wednesday, being able to watch the guys out there and them playing and seeing how the course plays? Will that be something you'll be really taking a keen interest in?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think it's really tough, and I heard that you have to be pretty precise off the tee. So I'll definitely work on my long game a bit more this week. And then yeah, it'd be strange going from there to play 2 links golf courses. So yeah, a bit of a difference.
I was going to say for you guys, it's it comes from this to the Ladies Open up at St Andrews. Is it tougher, do you think, going that way around, going and taking on a links, or having, like, for the guys just come from the links course and going on to something like the Golf National, which is all sort of water-based and target-based? Is there a tougher way around, do you think?
I actually think this is the best way around. I think it's hard going from links to like Parkland or a place where the weather's because when you play links, when you play so much in the wind, I feel like it's hard to control your swing, and then it takes a few days afterwards to get it back. So I'd rather have like my swing in good control and then go to links to then have it, moved around a lot. But I think like in Scotland, the weather maybe won't be too good, so I'm happy to go from kind of hot to cold instead of the other way around.
So we've got the last major of the year coming up at St Andrews. Really exciting week at the home of golf. Obviously winning at Lytham in 2018. Is it this week especially that is closest to your heart when it comes to major championships?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously for the obvious reasons. But St Andrews is one of my favourite courses in the world, and I love the atmosphere. I love how the crowds are there, and that you just go into the town and everyone's just obsessed with golf. And yeah, just close to home, well, really for me, and so nice I can just drive up there and have friends and family watch.
Taking you back to Lytham that week, did you have a feeling that your game was peaking going into that event? I mean, obviously you had a good run in 2017. winning the Order of Merit, lots of top tens, keep on churning out lots of good performances. Did that really motivate you to do well in the major championship?
Yeah, definitely. I never played all of them before, but we played the Scottish Open at Gullen, kind of down the road the week before, and I played pretty decent, came 20th or something like that. And yeah, it's my rookie year, so I was really kind of getting to grips of that tour and the players and how good they were. And then yeah, went to Lytham, and my dad was caddying, and just the weather was actually great, is like it is now. It's really strange as well. We just didn't get much wind, and I just remember just so many bunkers everywhere all the time, and just to only hit one fairway bunker that week was quite an achievement, which I was very happy about. But again, just the crowds there, and I just felt so much support, which I don't normally get when I play in America.
Is that something coming from there's Brits who we play amateur golf on links? Do you see that as a big advantage coming into the Open week?
Yeah, definitely. I think also being at home and having that support is massive, especially for me. I kind of want them to give them something to cheer for. And I know they've come to watch us and to watch, just women's golf as well in general, which is improving year on year. But I think just to have that extra support behind me, it doesn't give me more pressure, it just makes it more exciting for me. And I don't get to do it that much, only once or twice a year and 1, 2 events a year. So I want to try and make it worth it. But of course, with the weather, I think that when the wind gets up, you have to think more and be more creative and hit different types of shots, which I'm a bit more used to, and I find it more fun. And you have to use your imagination, which in America you don't really have to do that much. You just kind of see the pin and hit at it. So yeah, I think it'd be good fun.
What was your mindset like that week, Georgia? Did it differ from other tournaments? Was there when you talk to people that have won on tour, it's like, oh, like from Tuesday, it just felt a little bit different. It felt like I was going to have a really great week.
Yeah.
I mean, winning might be another stretch, but all of a sudden, there's just few things that click into place. Swing feels great. Your room at your hotel feels fantastic. Good food. You're in a great place off the golf course as well. Was there anything that you could feel like you could pinpoint to that week being so special?
I arrived and I just felt very calm and happy to be there, really. I was just really excited for that event, and I have been for most of the year. So I think that was different. It was just nice to. I remember the first tee, I had so many support, and it was early. I had an early tee time, and I hit my first shot to 2 foot, and I think that's a par 3. So I think that really got my week going, and to have the first 2 rounds bogey free as well. It just kind of felt like everything was clicking that week, and I didn't want to think it at the time, but I think I'm going to be close in this one.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I remember watching the final round, and all of the commentary team, it felt like everyone was not nervous for you, but getting it over the line, for your first
Yeah.
major championship. Did you get a feeling of that going into the last round, or were you
Yeah, for
still?
sure. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any other UK players near the top of the leaderboard, so I was definitely getting all the attention. And I was a little bit nervous the first couple of holes, but I kind of try to take the most of the opportunity and realize that there really isn't many times I'm going to be in this position. And there's so many times in life that I can try and grab this with both hands. And like I said, on the weekend, it was unbelievable how many people came up to watch and were cheering for me. So I was kind of like, I wanted to give them something worth watching, and that was kind of my mindset through it all.
It's interesting you mentioned about having the home crowd and how it kind of lifts you. What actually, because none of us, we might play in front of 4 people and the dog. What does it actually feel like when you're in that situation, like versus a normal round of golf? Obviously, everything's elevated, your senses are going to be up. But when you get
Yeah.
that sort of bigger crowd, because you had massive crowds following you, because as you say, the soul Brit Hope. What does that feel like from inside the ropes?
I kind of felt to myself just stay in a bubble. I try not to look around too much because there's just lines and lines of people watching. And when you play a normal round, whether it's at Wentworth or wherever I am in the world, you don't really get that. So the atmosphere is very different. And I kind of changed the mentality because the other girl was 1 shot ahead of me going into the final round. And that's what she was actually until the 15th hole in front of me the whole time. So I kind of changed it, and I thought to myself, well, why am I nervous? She's the one that's leading. And that's the way I kind of tried to think about it. And then when I was ahead for the first time on the 17, 16, 17, and that's like where it's kind of too late. Then I was already right. I thought I've won this. So yeah, it's strange. You have to be strong and not really think too far ahead. But yeah, like I said, I was just trying to stay in like my bubble of just on the course and imagine like the ropes were far away.
Amazing times, and obviously looking forward the Olympics and the Open. You've been doing a lot of work in the gym. We've been seeing you down and around here working with Kate. Charlie's on
Yeah.
it as Charlie's on it as well. I mean, you've never looked in better shape. You really leaned up, and you're looking really strong. What do you feel like that's brought to your game, Georgia?
Yeah, it's the first time I've really ever done it, to be honest with you. I was really bad when I was like 18, 19, 20. And I just thought like I'm getting to the age where I want to look after my body more and get stronger because I feel I can get a lot stronger. I'm actually fairly weak in certain places, I think. I think it's very important to try and avoid the injury side of things. 'Cause that's the worst thing, like let alone playing bad golf. You don't want to just even not play golf to begin with. So yeah, I've been working really hard with Kay and she's like fantastic. She's more than just a trainer. She's a great friend, and she pushes me, and she knows the exercises that I don't want to do, and she's just like, I don't care, you're doing them. Like you can moan all you want, you're doing them, Georgia. So yeah, she's really helped me, and especially diet wise as well. I'm not the best at that, and she's trying to keep that on top of me. And I get texts daily of what am I eating to try and help with that. So I think I've gradually hit the ball slightly further the last 6 months as it is, and I think there's still a lot of room for improvement. But yeah, she makes things a lot more exciting in the gym and less more bearable.
Well, just briefly back to the Olympic side of things, what are you most looking forward to about Olympic week?
I think wearing all the gear, really. I mean, I got like 4 or 5 massive suitcases worth of it, and it's really good stuff. And it's nice not to wear my normal golf clothes, to be honest. But no, also representing obviously Great Britain will be a great honour. And just being in Paris and just seeing all the stands up and doing it more for like pride, I think, rather than anything else. And hopefully being in contention on the last day. But it'd be strange playing for 3 places. Normally you always play for one place, but yeah, it would be weird.
We've had a lovely question. Listen, Georgia, we're not going to take too much more of your time because you've been very generous as it is. But Niels Axon, one of our regulars on the channel, has asked, how do you think the nerves will play a part for you at the Olympics and for the rest of the golfers? Is it going to be a different type of nerves? Obviously, you're no longer really playing for yourself. You're playing for your country as well. What sort of role does that play in the nerves side of things?
Yeah, I think it would be weird teeing up trying to get like a medal. It'd be the first time, obviously, and I think every player thinks the Olympics they rate it differently in their career, so I think that plays a big part as well. But yeah, definitely, obviously, give it my best shot, and obviously Charlie's going to be on the team as well, even though it's individual. So it'll be interesting. I know that we're all sharing together in a house with our caddies and physios, and so it's much more of a team environment than it is in a normal week. So I think that will feel different as well. But obviously, to try and contribute to like the medal list would be pretty cool.
Will Solheim Cup help with that, having been part of that sort of team environment and representing a continent? I guess that'll help kind of get you had a bit of an insight
Yeah.
into it already, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But it'd be strange playing for Great Britain. I don't normally do that a lot. It's normally just England or Europe. So it's nice to represent something more than just myself and be part of history, I think, as well.
Georgia, just to finish up with, what is going to be the top of your tree in terms of goals over the next 12 months for your career? Where do you want to see yourself?
I would love to be in the world top 10, but I think at the moment my goal is performing well at St Andrews. I think it's more not just because it's the British Open, just because what the place means to me personally. I think that's my kind of main goal is to play well there and just try and be a bit more consistent and be in contention as much as possible. I mean, golf's a weird game, and you never know when like your week can come. So hopefully soon.
Well, I was fortunate enough to follow you around at the Aramco event just recently, and I was blown away by how you hit it off the tee and your play. I mean, you were a couple of putts away from taking that event, and I'm sure from all of us here at Precision Golf, we really wish you well at the upcoming Olympics and at St Andrews for the rest of your season. Thanks so much for your time, Georgia. We really wish you a lot of luck.
Yeah, best of luck.
No worries.
Thanks, Georgia.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Well, how lucky are we to have someone of Georgia's stature in the ladies' game to be able to join us on a live there. Hopefully you got some really great insights into what Georgia goes through on a daily basis, working out, practicing and preparing for championships. What a lovely, lovely girl. I mean, Georgia and Charlie down here practicing and always interacting with our clients. It's a lovely atmosphere to be around. What's your takeaway from Georgia's interview there?
I think what's interesting is actually how I think how also she's very at peace with herself. She kind of, I get the impression like she just really knows who she is and knows what works for her, and she's working really, really hard. We see her working this morning. She was working really hard, and so I think there's that. I feel like there's that confidence from knowing you're doing the right things. She's got the backup of being a top global player for the last 7-8 years or longer, and so I think with that there just comes this sort of sereneness to her. But I really liked that sort of how she talked about how it felt like being inside the ropes and just go, hang on, why am I nervous? She's leading, I'm going to go get her. And then by the time she's caught her, it's too late, I've won already now. I just think it's just such a really nicely understated confidence that's there. I think really fascinating getting those insights.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a great team around her as well. Works with Robert Rock, golf coach, and obviously Kate here, and she's got a physio team as well. So as I say, we really wish her a lot of luck.
Yeah.
We're going to play a few holes, some key pivotal shots at Le Paris National, and hopefully we won't be hitting it in the water, but we might do. We've got the iPads and the phone standing by. Going to take all your questions as we go, so do get those firing in. The first
tee shot. I mean, there are a few. I don't think there are many scarier tee shots. I mean, you think back to Ryder Cup there with the massive grandstands, and they're going to be the same kind of things there. This is a venue that's literally was made for these kind of events, and what a stadium first hole, water everywhere. I mean, I'm glad I'm not teeing up in that.
So what have we got here? We've got 270, 280 to the corner.
About 280 to run out, but as you go up the left, you have, and once you get 150 yards off, it's just water up the left. So, and if the adrenaline's going and you hit it further than you're intending, if you go straight through the fairway, you're in the water as well. So, right.
Nice. Mark Rowley actually says, not forget John Rahm winning at the outstanding JCB course at the weekend on Live. Yeah, that was a good win.
Tyrrell missed a putt in the last to take it to playoff. And interesting enough, Rahm really didn't want to celebrate because they're on the same team as well. But he'd been saying how much he wanted another win and was, I think, 4 back from Andy Ogletree going into the last round. And there was a little bit of interesting kind of interaction with the crowd on Saturday.
Was there?
I think John was about to hit a shot, and there was a little bit of chirping going on.
Oh, really?
And some choice words from the caddy.
I
can't repeat live. So it was a really big deal having. I think his last win was the Masters last year, so it was a really big deal for him to get the win. He was quite emotional about it.
If you're tuning in for the first time, what do we need down here?
Well, I'm going 3-wood. Because driver, even a minute pull with driver means wet. So 3-wood means I can just hit it at that sort of 270 or 280 yards. I can't reach it.
Okay.
The adrenaline is not coursing through my veins at this point in time.
What,
so
even teeing off in front of me?
No, I mean, it almost looks like we're on the same team.
I know.
Just to preempt the outfit comments that are bound to come.
I was just about to say, if you're new to the channel or new to a Monday Night Live, we're here every week, 6 p.m, taking your questions on all things golf equipment and golf coaching. You'll have noticed there might be some questions popping up on the screen. We've got a new co-producer in with James. helping us with this. So big thanks.
2 experts on hand.
2 experts.
Yeah.
But what I'm disappointed at is the fact that James was so cool, calm and collected this evening about the Zoom.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I'm previously,
like that.
anything that involved bringing extra tech into the live made James literally,
I know.
you know, I mean, gibbering wreck for about 3
I've
hours
literally
before
got
the
enough
production.
grey hair for all 4 of us here.
That's very
And
kind of you to take
I
one for
know,
the team,
I
yeah.
know, I'm all about that. So Jasper said, would love to know Georgia's view on the hybrids at the top of the bag. Does she think most amateurs should drop the 4-iron and use hybrid wood instead? Well, I think as a tour player, I mean, I don't think Georgia will have huge insight on what amateurs probably should do. I think that's your expertise, right? I mean, and we didn't want to necessarily take up Georgia's time with questions outside of her specialty. So we'll throw that one to you, Simon.
I think that there are strong arguments to play the club that gives you the most margin of error at that top end of the bag. And actually what's happened over the years as lofts have got lower, you know, 6-irons used to be 32 degrees and some are now 24. So, I mean, that's close to where my 4-iron is. So there are a lot of long irons that are not relevant for players to play who don't create enough ball speed or height. And that's where the hybrids come in. So it's a very, very relevant question for anyone looking at their equipment to say, is a hybrid better for me than a long iron? And sometimes the answer is no, sometimes the long iron's better. But in a lot of cases, yes, we're doing a lot more hybrids in place of 3-irons and 4-irons for sure.
Very good. Well, you go ahead and hit it in the water first. I mean,
thank you very
hit
much.
it on the fairway first.
That handle's being lifted up is going right straight away. So I'm just going to take a nice committed swing, pick a spot, and cross my fingers and pray.
Oh.
And
Oh.
you see, that felt like quite a good swing, and
now
I'm dropping.
Just before we came on air, he had about 8 shots. They all went down the fairway. Yeah. One under the pressure.
That wasn't even that far off.
He's hit it left. Get out of the way.
But I think that's the jeopardy, isn't it? You get a hole like this.
What, not being able to do it in front of a camera?
No, but it's the fact that that's literally 3 yards off the fairway, 4 yards off the fairway, and you're dead.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, take Ryder Cup when it was there, you saw an awful lot of, you know, there's general piss take from my co-host, but that's why they're all going right, because that's the only place you can't go is left.
Well, why don't you just hit it down the fairway like that?
I thought I had.
Just do that.
That's arrowing towards the soup as well.
No, that won't go in the soup.
That could keep running.
Open the hole up nicely.
You'd have been sucking up when that one was on the ground.
Open the hole up nicely. Have another go.
I'll have another go.
Have another go. I'll get back to some more questions. I just want to see these little questions coming up on the bottom of the screen. Niels Axelson says, how nice to hear from Georgia. Very friendly and forthcoming. Honestly, the girls are so lovely.
That was never starting left, was it?
Yeah, a bit of a drop kick though. Alex N. Hi, gents. I have a negative club path, -6 to -9 with my irons, and tend to send it left once I square up the face. Can a flat lie angle help me send it more right? Absolutely not. Well,
it can.
But -6 to 9, that's a long way left. Then when you hit it, when you're hitting it with the pull left, your club face is miles open. Just go over to Good Golf Coaching and check out my essential grip guide video, and I promise you, practice for an hour, get yourself on track, man. Your club path will no longer be -6, -9.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You'd use lie to fine-tune start line slightly, but if you're past that far left, then there's no lie out there that can save a start line left.
I'm gonna have another go. I'm gonna have another go.
Then
we'll change the hole.
We'll change the hole. Yeah.
Right.
So this is a key one because it sets the tone for the round. As Georgia said, she sticking 1 to 2 foot on the first.
Yeah.
Tap in birdie on the first is a nice way to start your round. So it sets the tone for the whole rest of the day. Now you hit a good one off the first, you're going right. I'm fine.
I mean, look. I mean,
very safe.
It's beautiful.
Very safe. Yeah. And actually, ironically,
my mum would have been proud of that.
Ironically, up the right gives you the better line in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Beautiful.
So I'm going to switch to what I think is the next most important shot on this course.
Got it. Let's take another little question. For those of you tuning in, I'm doing a little bit of Sky Sports next week, covering the Wyndham Championship. So tune in Thursday, Friday, me and Iona. Gary Satterfield. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hey, guys and gal. Great smile, Georgia. Thanks for that outstanding bunker play video. You're welcome. Great drone work too on the golf course. And by the way, that was my first take with that. That was my first take. I did a bunker intro.
Oh, yeah, I saw
First
that, yeah.
take, straight in.
Saw you mincing into the bunker. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Doug said, hi guys, just want to say a big thanks to you, Stu. Had my best round in 2 years yesterday shooting, gross 77, playing off 11 handicap. All thanks to you, you're welcome.
Good score.
Good score.
Very good.
Took the cash off the boys,
I'm not surprised at doing that.
As a golf coach, you normally take 8% of winnings, just saying. What we got?
Approach to 18.
Oh, no.
So we've started on a horror shot, you're now ending on a horror shot. And this is why, as a venue...
233? Oh, no. Oh, no, that was the last shot.
No, yeah.
Oh, right.
So good tee shot up the last, got 180 yards in.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't got any wind on this one, so if you factor in wind, it suddenly becomes a whole different level. But all you're seeing is water short. You know if you go over safe, there's water long. This is a very friendly pin because it's in the fat bit of the green. If they stick the pin on the right, you've then got not a lot of green to aim at.
Right.
So
I'm going to hit a little Virginia 7-iron in there.
You're one shot ahead. Your nearest challenger's already in the clubhouse. You've got to make 4 to win.
Right.
Tough.
I'm going to go.
But if you're at the Olympics, you're one of the top golfers out there.
Exactly. So how hard can it be?
With a perfect lie on a mat and there's no wind.
Yeah.
A lot easier than it is out there.
Oh no, I've pulled it. I've pulled it.
Pulls jet-wise a bit of a longer carry.
Oh no. I told you I pulled it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Not bad. You take it.
I'll take that.
You take it.
I'll take that, wouldn't you? You'd take that.
So when you get a shot like this, do you go to a club that you know you can go full ball? You're more likely to play the shot you can really commit to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
Always play a full shot, right?
So we go.
Don't really want to fiddle one in there.
178. Don't want to go long. Stand there and batter a 7-iron. That's the.
So, Aidan, I play Modus 120X and currently trying KBS Tour 120 stiff. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Yeah, quite like that. You'd like that if you were one ahead playing the last.
You would, yeah, that was well struck. The handle seems a bit stiffer in the KBS and I can be a bit more aggressive with shots. Could Simon explain the difference in the shaft?
Between the Modus 120 and the KBS 120. So one bit of it is that the Modus 120 is actually in a stiff, is actually 114 grams. So it is lighter, but it's also a much softer grip end to the shaft. So the Modus is very stable in the tip, softer in the handle section, and the KBS is a little more stable through the midsection. So it's designed with a more responsive tip. So the KBS will feel a little more stout in the hands, but it is also the 6 grams heavier. So it's heavier, firmer in the handle, softer tip, and the Modus softer in the handle, heavier in the tip end, stiffer tip. So quite different shafts, but both very, very good.
Let's play the second hole. That's a long par 3 over the soup, isn't it? That's not particularly.
See, I think personally, it's a real shame that the Olympics is not a match play or doesn't have a match play element, especially when you take this course into account. I think it's such a, it's designed for Ryder Cup. It's designed for match play. But my own personal view is that, okay, maybe do a qualifier for a top 16 or something like that. But Olympics just, to me, feels like it's that one-on-one side of things. Yeah. I just feel it suits it more. I think it's a great pity they don't have match play on this.
Yeah. Robert Horridge says, are iron head covers okay? Absolutely not. They should be burnt all across the country.
The only thing I will say is they do make your irons last longer. So whilst you get a lot of mickey taking, your irons will look a lot better because they don't get the chatter in the bag.
If I ever see people with iron covers, I take them off and throw them in the river. Anyway, I'm joking. Aidan, would Ventus TR Red have a stiffer feeling handle like the KBS Tour 120 also?
Well, so I guess stiffer than what? But in principle, yes, the TR has the weave in the butt section which stiffens it up, so it is a tighter feel in that upper half. So not a bad comparison to the KBS Tour.
Great question just come in. Great question. Arguably the best question we've ever had on the show.
Oh, really?
And it's come from Golf Nerd 3. Hi guys, whose swing did you try to emulate growing up? And do you have any swing inspirations amongst current players?
So growing up was an easy one because I idolised the guy Faldo.
Yeah,
I was never
me
going to
too.
do it because I had too much. I would like his old swing with all the natural. But actually, his game was the one that he was the guy for me when I grew up.
So there was James Heath. James Heath,
swing.
great golfer.
Yeah.
His brother used to play, and his brother used to copy Faldo like to the T. Only he used to play like it. I don't know if you like waggles and like he'd flick his trousers like Faldo. I mean, like to the T, and that's how he would play. It wasn't taking the Mickey. That's just how he did that.
There's a guy, Sam Osborne, grew up playing with a certain amount, and he could mimic Faldo, Palmer, he'd rip every single shot. He was a brilliant swing mimic.
Yeah.
Who did you idolise?
Oh no, I was Faldo as well,
Faldo,
and I regret it every single day because I was a slow swinger of the golf club, and so my DNA of my swing is not fast enough. So, it set me back definitely.
So thankfully I wasn't very good at copying it. So I was always a wild thrasher.
You're right.
Which is why the hook was always.
Well, we're going to need a wild thrash over this
204. 204. I'm going. What are you playing?
I'm going 5 iron.
I'm going 5 iron. Yeah.
You going 5 iron?
Yep, going 5 iron. Let's get the mud off it.
I mean, it's not a particularly nice looking. I mean, if you're playing this hole here. I mean, it makes you, every time I have a hole or a shot that I don't like the look of, always makes me want to hit a cut. And every time I feel like I like the look of a shot, it makes me feel like I want to draw it in.
Interesting.
And I've never really talked about that until I've just mentioned it on the show.
Just exposing a golf fear.
Yeah, I'm going to, so for that reason.
I think a golf ick is what the youngsters call it.
For that reason, I'm going to try and draw my 5 iron in, which means that's probably going to go long.
Shot, then?
Sorry?
You like the look of this shot?
I don't like the look of this shot.
Just imagine if you're playing foursomes and this was your first tee shot. Your first iron shot, if your partner's hit the fairways over water, and then your next shot's over water.
Yeah, it's not nice, is it? Right, let's see if we can draw one in.
I reckon if you were trying to work out who was going to take what tee shot, it would be who wants the second tee shot least. That's quite a nice shot, though.
Oh, it's gone long.
For a lot of the ride. Oh, it's because you drew it. You hit it too far.
Well, I did. You know what? I was about to say I'm going to leave my 6 iron because I'm drawing it in.
So 204. I mean, let's just take dead aim. Just take dead aim. Wallop.
Sam J says I use transparent iron covers. The irons still look good and no chatter. Win-win. Sorry, still iron. Sorry, still iron covers. Still iron covers.
I pulled that a little bit. I pulled it a little bit.
That's soup. That's soup.
I hit it well though.
That's soup. Oh no, it
stopped
drawing.
No, it's all right.
No. Oh my goodness. Oh my.
You take it now though.
That was almost in.
You got to hit a worldie just to hit the green.
That was almost in. I've gone to 6 iron.
You've gone 6 there. Okay.
I've gone 6.
But I think that's the thing when you get a hole like this, and you just don't fancy it. It's really hard to make yourself. You've got to see a shot that you want to see, because the problem is all we do is we look at where we don't want to hit it, and then that ends up where it goes.
Yeah.
Human body is very good at following your eyes to somewhere you don't want to go.
I'm going straight at it. No more draw.
No more draw. Okay.
No more draw.
So you take a bit of distance off not hitting a draw. So is it going to carry?
Oh yeah, it's definitely
should just do.
That's going in.
That's
going in. It's going in. It's going in. Hey.
Not bad.
That's not bad for an old man, is it?
I'll do one more. Let's just do the. So some players will look at this and go, right, I'm going to fade it because I'm going to move it away from the trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that lunacy and try and fade one back onto it.
You haven't hit a fade in years, have you?
Yeah, I can do it now. Now with some good golf coaching.
Right. Frank Lehman. Hi from Hamburg. Thanks, Stuart. After I do your broom drill.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. This could be in as well.
It's in the bunker. It's in the bunker. Oh no.
But it takes distance off, so it's a bit tight.
Only just got there.
It was a fade though. Quite impressive.
After I do your broom drill and weight shift pressure correctly on the feet since 3 months, no more hooks or slices, always straight, ball flight and best compression. You are the best ever. Well, there you go. I mean,
sounds like that game's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Straight. Right, we're gonna need another hole. We need more questions, people. We need more questions. Which hole are we going to play now?
Which one? I think, let's just see. So tee shot on 17 is a tough one.
Do it. We've got Charlotte Faraday. Hi, Stuart.
Ah.
Please, can you show do you know Charlotte?
Yes.
Do you?
Yep.
Hi, Stuart. Please, can you show a drill to improve takeaway using the body more? I tend to start the swing with my arms and they break down. Okay. A bit more with the body. Well, if you're not using your body in your backswing, it's because you're not using your feet. The body starts, really, the torso starts to move really from the ground upwards. So I would encourage you to think about making your right leg longer when you take the golf club away. So as you make that takeaway, think about pushing your right leg longer, which will start to make your right hip move back, which will start to feel like your right shoulder moves. So as soon as the golf club moves, push your right leg longer, which will open your hip and your right shoulder, which will allow you to start to feel like your right side will start to get out of the way. Often where we've thought about shifting weight into the right side, can you see how I shift weight into my right side? All of a sudden this right leg starts to bend. Watch what happens to my hips. Can you see how they actually block me off in my backswing? As opposed to if I now push my right leg longer, look how it opens my right hip. So I would use your right foot, see if you can make your right leg a little bit longer, which would make your body open up and get a bit more body action in your takeaway.
Very good. Good golfer, Charlotte.
Good golfer.
Yeah, just been up in Scotland for a few days playing golf. I think it's Charlotte and Tom Ashmore been up playing golf in Scotland.
Does nobody
recently.
ever work anymore? Everyone just play golf? Is it only you and me working? I mean,
If
those
they are,
two
they
behind that camera screen.
They got the
over there
right
aren't working.
idea if they aren't, yeah.
Gary Satterfield, great show. Thanks, Gary. Guys, got to run. Watch the rest later. Can you do me a favour and do your show from midnight to 1 a.m. your time? Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Well, why wouldn't we?
It's very kind of you to suggest that.
Yeah, great idea.
We'll
Great
consider it. Yeah.
We'll ask James, see if he's up for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yeah.
Papa B, hello young men. Oh, very good, very good. Stuart, I keep hearing that professional golfers flight their wedges low. Can you please show how to do this? For the life of me, I can't hit a low full shot with any of my wedges.
Well, I'll put you on distance for a wedge shot so you can show people.
Oh,
What yardage would you like?
Give us 110.
Oh, 102.
Give us 110.
Yeah, 108. Oh, yeah, well, I can get you 110. Let's do 110.
Oh, there you go.
111, there you go. That'll do.
So when people talk about flighted wedges, they talk about them lower and they talk about them having slightly less spin. And it's really when you're playing into the wind. And the only way you can do that is to take away a bit of angle of attack and to reduce the loft on your golf club. So thinking about trying to pick the ball off of the turf is one way of doing it, feeling like you're sweeping it. Almost as though if I was going to, and a good way to practice it is if you put the ball on a high tee and practice trying to pick it off the top, but also trying to reduce the loft. And you can do this in a couple of ways. Dragging the ball back. The only trouble with dragging the ball back, you can then get quite steep on it. So what I would encourage you to do is in your backswing, I would try and encourage you to get your left wrist, your glove hand, to point a little bit more to the floor. And then on the way through, try to get the sensation that that right hand feels like it's absorbing the strike. Feels like the right hand has got a little bit more set in it. And in that way, you keep the face lined up to the path, which will bring the flight down. So again, when you talk about these sorts of shots, it's not for your club golfer really, because it's just too easy to go, I'm going to take one more club or two more clubs and just flight it down. So again, you can do that just by taking more clubs. I think the minute you start messing around with lofts and less angle of attack, you've got to be playing a lot of golf.
It's a very good level of golfer to be able to play those shots. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or to be able to justify playing them rather than take something that you know you can pull off regularly.
Absolutely. And it was like someone said the other week on the show, do you add weight or do you change putters for speeds of greens? You know, it's such a lovely idea, but the reality is you've got to be playing an awful lot of golf to be doing all of these finite changes in your swing, because it's only one shot to one hole. If you nose it up, could cost you 2 shots when you're only trying to save one in the first place.
Oh, look at the Open last week, or
Yeah.
week before last.
Yeah.
With the amount of them who are tasked with playing different feely shots, they're just not used to doing it. Even the top players in the world are missing greens by 20 yards.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard for them to do, let alone your average 12, 14, 10, 8 handicapper.
100%. So I've just popped the ball back in my stance a little. I'm just going to make that glove hand look a little bit more at the floor. And I'm going to really feel like I'm collecting it rather than feeling like taking any real divot. So again, it feels a bit more like a body move. It feels like I've got much less levers involved. And it feels like I'm pushing it in there, taking a bit more loft off, getting it to push in slightly under hit that one. I was more into the technique than I was into the distance. And again, that in itself is a whole problem, right? So that one should
It's like with putts, isn't it? When you focus so much on the read that you forget to hit the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a little bit more up there with the
nice.
with the distance.
You did hit it 110 as well.
Yeah.
Maybe 109.5.
There you go. So hopefully that
109, very good.
flighted feel. But again, I just think that, you know, if you've got 110 that's into the wind, and let's say your wedge normally goes 110, learn to hit an 8-iron 110. You know, just a half swing, 3/4 swing, and chip one in. I really enjoy that about links golf. Really enjoy taking extra club and hitting those little chippy shots. You know, let's take a 7-iron out here. We've got my 7-iron. There we go. 7-iron out. 110.
Are you going to play that 110 as well?
Yeah, play that 110. You have a go as well. I mean, it's just such a nice way of playing the game.
So one of the shots that sticks in my memory from years ago was playing a 5-iron to the 10th green at Royal St George's from about 120 yards.
Yeah,
now, it was blowing a hoolie. But it's just that little half chippy.
Yeah,
you
know. And when it's windy and you play that shot and you play it well, it's like, oh man, the wind wasn't even there. It just cut through it. It just went.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a much nicer way to go about it than having to fiddle fart around with dropping it back, taking the loft down and stuff.
So fiddle fart. I've not heard that.
Fiddle fart around with it.
110 yards. So I reckon I've hit that too hard. I reckon I hit about 130.
Yeah. But you know, we talk about, you go down the range and you work on
132.
You work on full swing and getting a 100-yard shot and hitting all of your bag to it suddenly gives you some real good sense of what your arms and your body are trying to do and how they're trying to sync up. You know, there's lots of ways to improve technique, and that definitely is another way. Mark Rowley, getting tired of hitting great drives, then topping or thinning my irons. Stu, can you point me to the right video or give me a drill advice? P.S. It wasn't me who shouted on Rahm's backswing. Oh, good to know. Good to know.
He wasn't. He had a sense of humour failure at the crowd at that point.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Mark, I've got your message. I will drop you or pinpoint, or in fact, in the chat, I will post up a video that you should watch. And one more. Thank you so much. Hands down, you boys have the best and most helpful content on YouTube.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Very kind.
Very good indeed. Have we got someone else over here? Oh, we've got some lovely questions coming in over here. Who have we got here? Frank Lehman, you are the best ever. That's very nice of you to say.
Thank you very much.
Kev T, evening both. Who would you both have in your celebrity four-ball?
Celebrity four-ball. Ooh. Well, that is a tough one. That is a tough one. Now, we're doing it based on people we've admired and various things going up, or people the most entertaining.
I'm gonna throw you under the bus here with a question. Who's your celebrity crush, female? Is the wife watching?
Reese Witherspoon.
Okay, so Reese.
She does look like Victoria
so
as well.
Reese Witherspoon is in.
Nice.
Okay. Who's your male crush?
Or Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton. And who's
guitarist.
your golfing crush?
You'd have to put Tiger in there, wouldn't you?
Well, there you go. So I just saved us about 3 hours of umming and erring for him. Mine would be Tiger.
Female crush.
Well, only because back in the day, Julia Roberts.
Fair. Male crush?
And male crush Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
It's proper.
Yeah,
It's
the
proper.
Eliminator.
The Eliminator.
Something like that. I think it was that. Yeah, sort of snakes on a plane or something like that.
Richard Skinner, hi Stuart. Please, can you demonstrate a chipping technique when you are greenside in the rough and chipping downhill about 20 or 30 yards? Well, if you hadn't noticed, we haven't got a downhill lie here, but my top tip for downhill chips, top tip. Are you all leaning in? You're leaning in. Top tip. The trouble with a downhill lie is that it jacks your right side up, which all of a sudden takes the loft off, and it really makes backswings awkward to make because the right side gets too steep. So drop your right foot back, which lowers your right shoulder, which allows you to make a better hip turn in a chip and pitch shot. So my advice, keep the golf ball in the same spot. If anything, move it slightly further forwards because gravity's pulling you down the slope. Move the ball further forwards, don't move it further back. Go with the slope, drop your right foot back and make sure that your right shoulder is going to cover the golf ball. And that way you'll get a good strike. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. The danger is you try and help it in the air, then
Absolutely,
you fit it.
right. Yeah. All sorts of nastiness. Chris Shanks, well, as a golfer, that's obviously, and you won't have heard it before. You won't have heard that before. That's the worst surname you've ever had. What iron shaft weight range would you suggest for a 92 mile an hour 7-iron? I'd play Hazardous Black 60X in driver and 80X in 3-wood. I think I've surpassed the 950 GHs I used since 2016.
Okay, so thank you for the context on the wood shafts, so that helps a lot. Otherwise, I was going to say somewhere between 80 and 140 grams. But so if the Hazardous Blacks work well for you, the driver shaft 64 grams, mid-balanced, 82 on the fairway. So you need a bit of weight. The 950s are going to be too light. If those are working well for you, they're definitely going to be a bit light. I would be looking at, again, difficult one, but probably in the 115 to 125 gram weight range. If the Hazardous Blacks swing well for you, look at some of the KBS, whether it's a dollar taper, or a Tour V, something like that. You want something more stout feeling, but one of those would probably be a good baseline.
Very good. I love Turtle. Can Stuart play a 2-iron with a head cover on over 240 yards over the water? No, we won't do that.
I mean, I've got a cheeky way of testing it.
Go on.
James, do you reckon you could grab one of those black ping iron things? Yeah, we have a way of doing this.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I
love
Turtle. He thought he was going to get away with not doing something there, but we're definitely giving it a go. I'm going to give a go the 17th tee shot here because it's a very, very tough one. So before we do the 2-iron with a head cover on, and now head cover, we have these cheeky little beasts that ping send their irons out in.
Oh, nastiness. Nasty.
So when you get so I picked this tee shot because it's right at the end of the round, but it's a narrow ribbon-like fairway. So
is this a par 4?
It's a par 4 and 3/4. It's a 4 off the tips. It's a 480-yard par 4. But the fairway's about as wide as this bay. So when you get a demanding tee shot, I mean, key thing's actually commit rather than steer it. I think you kind of go this far into the round. You should know roughly what shot shape you're hitting. So and basically pick a spot and commit. So that's the key thing.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to be all in, haven't you?
I mean, at least if you're going to miss it a long way up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I think, the moment you try to steer it, and by committing, it doesn't necessarily mean thrashing the living bejesus out of it. It's actually just pick a spot and let the swing go all the way through. So, I think anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was just going to add a bit more in there, but I'll do that when I step on the mat.
So I'm picking right.
Is this really a hole? This
is really the 17th at Le Golf National.
Is it?
Yeah. Ron winning with a pitch wedge against Woods in the Ryder Cup.
I don't remember this hole at all.
So, so we're looking narrow strip of fairway.
This looks like some Walt Disney would throw together.
Pick a spot and commit to it.
This would scare the life out of Nick Doherty.
So, now I do know the last 4 or 5 rounds have been the best driving I think I've ever done. So I know I'm hitting it laser straight with the driver.
Wow.
So take that aim, wallop.
Very good. Oh no, he's put me under pressure now.
And now he's got to hit the fairway.
You put me under pressure now. Oh dear. Oh dear.
I think the thing is, the key thing with a shot like this is when you're on course and if you're hitting certain shots, play with it, don't fight it.
Yeah. Wise words.
Is he going to come back? Is he going to come back? Lays it.
Oh. Oh. First fairway I've missed since 1982.
Jumanji.
I'm going to need one more. Oh no.
You're only 40 yards behind me, but don't worry.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, but that was in the rough.
You got about 4 yards of run.
I was in the rough.
That's straighter.
It might be a bit left though.
Only a little bit. But again, and that's one of the things round here this week, a good driver of the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Very good. Very good. Oh yeah, two iron with head cover.
We're not going to make it 240.
Yeah, 2 iron with head cover.
That's a bit.
Well, I
mean.
mean, as requests go, I mean, this is up there.
So which one? So which are we going to do?
I'm going to have to take it off a tee.
Yeah. So we've got 178 yards over water. We just have a go at the second.
Let's do the second. 200 yards, isn't it?
210 over water.
I mean, Turtle, you did send us some lovely hampers, didn't he? Was that the chap? That was the chap, wasn't it?
Right, just generally good questions, goodwill,
yeah,
and amusing content questions.
Yes, absolutely. This is probably not going to have much spin on it.
I like the way he's grabbed the metal first.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, I'm well. Yeah. Let's just go with it.
They've asked, we shall do. There we go.
Oh, please go close. Oh,
that's done remarkably better than I expected.
Over to you. Have a go. Have a go.
I mean, it's not overly thick.
It's all gone silly. It's all gone silly on a Monday night show.
210. So okay.
It's all gone silly.
Oh, absolutely! I've preempted it swinging heavy with the head cover on.
Oh no!
Look at that, faded it back into the green.
You've hit the green. Well, get yourself a set. Get yourself a set of
head covers.
2 irons and head covers on. Doug, hi Simon. Just changed irons from PXG. Great question. Great request, by the way. I love Turtle. Thank you. Hi Simon. Changed irons from PXG Gen 6s with stiff KBS light to Wilson CB with TTR 300 and gone from a mostly toe strike with the PXG to middle strikes with the Wilson, both standard. Any reason?
There's a big change in shaft there. So if it's the standard dynamic gold R300, that's 120, 125 grams, and the KBS Tour Light is 95 grams. So it's a massive change in dead weight. The Tour Light is a high balance point as well for steel. So chances are too light, it's not taking you into the back of the ball, so you're just flipping at it, not extending your arms, catching the toe. The extra weight's taking you down to the ball, extending your arms fully. Sounds like a great change.
Very good.
Well done.
Very good. Aidan, high toe impact on irons. Is that a path issue? Could be anything.
Path, base to path, angle attack.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, guessing.
It's high out the toe is a tough one to achieve.
The only thing that you can be guaranteed of is that your overall circle is too low, because your circle is too into the floor.
When you say circle,
the overall golf swing circle, the overall swing circle is too low as it's coming through. That's the only part that you could guarantee that's occurring. But even then, you could arguably say, well, you could be getting it half the toe if you were like 9 down on it, because you lean the shaft. Well, no, you lean the shaft forwards and you move the strike point up the face. So if you
getting kind of on top and down to the toe. Yeah.
So if you lean the shaft, if you lean the shaft forwards, look where the contact point goes to. It goes higher up on the face. So depending on how much shaft lean you have, that can be one reason why you'd hit it half the face. Regards to circle height, if your circle is arriving too low, that's the other reason why you'd hit it too high off the face. But other than that, why it comes out the toe, Could be that you're too much from the inside. Could be standing the shaft up too much. Could be too far from the golf ball. Could be a multitude of reasons, really. Or an open face.
A little bit of a cast and flip with the hand.
Yeah.
So just about 700 reasons.
Yeah, exactly right.
I think it's actually one of the difficult things with golf. There are so many ways you can, humans can find some very interesting ways of delivering a club head. So there are so many different ways of doing it that it can be quite hard to diagnose sometimes.
Absolutely. Golf nerd, hope you enjoy this question as well. Have you tried teaching your significant other golf? How was the experience? Yeah, I gave Laura a lesson down the range. Yeah, and you know, did well. Did well. Got some whack in her.
Yeah. So which means hit it past you. No, Victoria and we did try some Sunday mornings down the range. She had a lovely swing, but every club from 7 on up carried the same distance, and she decided that was not the best use of our only Sunday morning together.
Yeah, fair dues. Mark Liver's edge. If iron shafts are too light, does that encourage losing club face left at impact?
Both light and heavy can do it, but they do it different ways. But yes, it is something where if you're someone who gets the club a little light and is more of an aggressive move, then you'd like to shut the face down and drag it left. Yes.
Van House. Hi guys, what is the difference in profile wise between the Project X IO and the Modus 120? Thanks.
Okay, Modus 120 is
we've got 3 minutes.
Soft here, very stable here. The IO is very stable here, progressively stiffer in the tip, but as you go up the flexes, the 6.5 is fairly tip stiff. The 5.0 is much softer in the tip. So it's a progressive. IO stands for individually optimized, so it's a progressive tip stiffness, but zonally quite different shafts.
Very good. Steve Werry, what would you suggest looking at first if someone changed their grips change your grip as per your video? Irons are great, now slightly drawn longer, but hooking driver, where would you go first? Go to a thumbnail called Power at Impact. On the front, it's a picture of my left hand, Power at Impact. Go search out that video. That will fix you, no problems. Stu Brister, great show, gents. Loving the new driver setup, Simon.
Yeah, excellent. Great to hear.
Non Fortis Ked10X. Have you hit the limited 3D printed irons yet? Thoughts?
Yes, we did a review on them a little while back. I think it's really interesting for the future of golf head design and construction. Nice, neat head, not going for distance, very consistent, but they're very, very, very limited and not cheap as a result.
Richard Skinner, hi Stuart. I played golf with my son yesterday. On his backswing, his habit of sliding his left foot back, the reverse Scheffler, his left foot.
So on the backswing.
Wow. This impacts the swing plane. Left foot back, the reverse Scheffler. This impacts his swing plane. Can you offer any advice? I would put his feet together and make him hit shots that way, and then that way he won't be able to move his feet, and then gradually widen his stance as he goes.
Nail through the foot.
Yeah, absolutely. G. Jones, Fujikura Axiom shafts, how popular are they in fittings or simply unaffordable for the average punter? Thanks in advance, guys. Loving your work, Greg J.
Thank you very much. They are dear, and that is one thing that can make them prohibitive. They are quite a particular balance and feel, so they aren't for everybody, but they're really good quality shaft. They've taken the Velocore principle and put it into irons, but they are high price point.
I'm just looking on the app here on the feed, and I need a haircut. Aidan, favourite event in the Olympics to watch?
Decathlon.
Shooting. Josh White.
Wouldn't have picked that at all.
Josh White, 2-iron with a head cover. You did ask for it. Question is, whom is Jake and whom is Elwood Blues? Denzel is the equaliser.
I was close.
Don Keek. Hi guys, love the content. Is AI smoke mini driver a bit overdone when you already have a 10.5 smoke driver?
I think there are certain players it really suits. I think if you're the Mini proves that you can get the ball speed and the spin of a driver in a smaller head. Whether they're making a point to the regulators about the ball and what they can do with a smaller head, we shall see. I think if you're someone who struggles at full-length driver, brilliant option.
Brilliant. 6:59. Smashed it out of the park. We've had a
Great questions.
We've had a major champion. We've played a few holes at La Golf Nationale, and we've answered a bunch of questions.
And we look like we're in the French team.
And we look like we're in the French team.
Totally inadvertent, didn't know.
Well, let me tell you, we're here next week, Monday at 6 p.m. We, as usual, have loved your company. We send a big thank you and big love to our friend Georgia. We wish her well in the Olympics.
Yeah, and Charlie,
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all next week, 6 p.m. Monday. Have a great week.